Okay, here I am just playing some 200k table poker. See here I'm playing a few screens at once, so I'll try and just sort of drag the appropriate clients into these screens. I get them. This session's rebooting soon, so I won't be playing on this table long. For some reason all the tables seem to be 6 and 8 maxes today, so that's what I'll probably end up playing. I'm just busy trying to pick up a seat on these other oceans. Again, because it's a bigger table now, it's all about tight play more than anything. That's all you really need to succeed, is to play tight. So you'll notice, compared to the heads up videos, my starting requirements have just gone insanely high in comparison. I'm just going to pause until I get something that's worth commenting on. Here I've just got a mediocre sort of hand, 10 queen, so it's not very good, but you put in a small raise with it and just see what happens. Here I flopped an open-ended straight, so I'm going to try and buy this pot. I don't know anything about how these two play, so I'm going to raise it. Oh, I've just mentioned I've got queens on this other ocean. I've just raised it up to 10k. I just move this over. Here you see I've got queens on this ocean. On the other one I'm just checking, hoping to hit my straight, but I didn't, so I just checked it down and ended up losing about 20k. Oh, he just had 10 ace and chased gut shot, so I probably could have taken it in the end. Here I don't want it to pick up anything, so yeah, I just bet out. And there you go, I just didn't really win anything on there. Oh, I've picked another nice pocket pair up, so again I'm going to raise it up to about 10k. Well, I'm going to say I'm raised up to 8k, and for every person that limps, I'm going to notch it up one. So I'm going to choose that. That's a pretty good approach. Say with jacks, raise to 8k, and for every limper, raise it another 2k. Oh, this is a great flop for me. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to raise to 12k, because what that means is these two will call, and I'm hoping that Reborn Pirate goes all in so I can re-raise. Oh, it didn't work that way. So I'm just going to attack now. I'm just going to raise it up to 52k. I really doubt I'm beat here. All I have to say is wow. That's just 6, calling 7-3 suited and hitting quads. But there's nothing you can do about it. It helps me in the long run if she makes stupid calls like that, so that's all you have to tell yourself. So again, I'm just going to hit pause until I get a hand again. Okay, and now I've just got a hand again. I've just cashed in on this other table and I've picked up some pocket queens. So again, I'm going to raise it up to 10k. This is actually my first hand on this table. Oh, this is a very draw heavy board, so I'm just going to make my move right here. Straight draws, flush draws. I don't want to see a turn card. Yeah, and there you go, I've made up a bit for it there. I've just won a nice 90k pot on my first hand. And again, I'm just going to pause. Oh, okay, I've got 8s again. I'm going to raise it up, but I'll be a bit more cautious on this one. Okay, I'm just going to call that. There's a lot of draws. I don't want to let free card come off. I feel like the 8s are ahead. If I get re-raised... Oh, I would hand. I think that's ahead. No. Oh well. Probably could have folded, but I felt I was ahead on that one. Here I've just picked up a pair of aces. I'm just raising a bit. But it's not very strong, so I don't want to put a ton of bets into this pot. So I'm just trying to minimise the size. A couple of things he could have just withered me on, so again I'm just going to call, keep it nice and small. There we go, I got the kicker. And on this ocean over here, I just raised it on 10 acing up, raised out of the pot, so I've had to throw that one down. And I'm not doing very well at the moment. I'm probably about 100k down, but like I said, that was just because this person made a moronic call and got lucky. But like I said, you've got to look at it in the long run, and the odds of someone having that 3 on a pre-raised flop were astronomically small in my opinion. So again, I'm just going to pause until I get some handing in. Okay, again, nice starting hand, raise it up to 10k. Okay, he's just all in twice. I'm not letting this one go this time, unless Jack calls. If he folds, I'm calling because he's done this like twice in quick succession. Or if I hit a check, maybe. Oh, that was a bit lucky. That was more of a race, but I felt because he'd just done that twice in quick succession, I wasn't prepared to lay down that. I think that was twice in about 4 hands he'd gone all in, or something like that. So I felt I wanted to call. And again, I'm just going to hit the pause button now. I got some suited connectors here, and I like these sort of hands. So I'm just going to do a small raise on this one. I'm down to 2 oceans now in a minute because Sage is just about to reboot. Macduck seems to be taking his time. And I just take down the blinds. And that's pretty much the end of that hand. Okay, here I'm just going to comment that I folded 8 queen pre-flop because it was weak and I flopped set. Don't beat yourself over things like this. It's the same as like when I lost the quads. You just have to look at it and tell yourself you made the right decision in the long run, and that's what matters. Because I would have to call so many 2k blinds with that hand to get a winning one, so in the long run, folding basically saves me a lot of money. Okay, here I have a very interesting dilemma of whether to call or not, and I basically decided to fold because, well, I can't see someone doing that on a 3, so it's all about the kicker. And based on the amount I'd invested versus this person's stack, I've seen she's quite a loose player, but still, if you've only put about 8k into it and you're faced with a decision for 200k, I'd like to be pretty sure. So it's all about the amount of money you've put into the pot. And here I've just got an ace, so I'm just going to bet about, 6k into 10k. It's always, the amount I want to bet is always proportionate to the flop, to the pot. Hopefully I won't get anyone else calling. This isn't very good for me. 3 callers sort of puts me off quite a bit. So I'm just going to check it down. Unless I improve. And a flush and a straight. Is a straight just hit? No, it hasn't. But I still don't like my hand. I don't know, there's a lot of people that, like every single person was chasing a gut shot. But I still didn't like it, and I think that was the right decision to just shut down the betting. Okay, here I've just got a gut shot straight draw, but if you've got a gut shot straight, your equity in the pot is only about 10%, so it's not worth raising, and from what I've seen of these people, they're loose maniacs, so betting doesn't really serve much purpose. So therefore I'm not going to take any sort of stab at this pot. And there you go. He had a pair on the flop anyway, so I was behind at every stage. And I only had about 1 in 10 odds to improve. This is something I love doing just on some low pockets. I like to build a bit of the pot. He's raised me out, so I'm just going to have to fold that. But that's one thing I do like to do, is just build it a bit on things like suited connectors and low pockets, and hope for a pair on the pot. And what usually happens is people just call like morons, and you have like 5 callers. Yeah, here I'm just gonna give it in. That's probably a bad fold, but making a play I don't think would work, so I'm not gonna try. I'm just gonna pause again and wait for a hand. Okay, here I've picked up a nice draw. Now the question here is, it's a 10k pot, so it's 50k, and I've got to pay 16 to call. About 30% odds, so I think that pretty much just justifies it. Yeah, I don't make it, but I had about 30% odds, and I had to pay about 16k to win 46k. So and there was a chance that my 2-pair was also good, so I probably had about, I don't know, 35-40% odds to win that hand. So for the size of the pot and the price that I had to pay to call, I felt it was worth calling. Okay, again I've got Queen 10's offsuit here. I'm just gonna limp in on this one. She's face, but Queen 10 is a pretty weak hand, and that's not in my pre-flop range for 10k, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I just want to watch this, just see how it would have played out. And you see, I would have had to just fold it on the flop. So I saved myself about 10k there. Yeah, this is something you'll see greenies do against you quite a lot. Is if you have a mediocre hand and someone raises to 6k, don't get tempted in on mediocre hands, because that's one of the ways that I always build pots, is because I know people, when they call 2k, they refuse to fold to a 4k raise, but you really should unless you have a decent hand. My general rule is, if I wasn't planning on raising myself, then you shouldn't be making the call. It's actually a lot easier to bet than it is to call, so you just sort of want to avoid those really bad calls. Here I've got 5 so I'm just going to try and buy this pot. But again, as soon as someone else shows strength, I just play it down. I'm just going to keep that playing just to see how the hand plays out. Looks like one of these has definitely got something. Looks like they've both got something. Yeah, they've just split the pot because the kicker's been counterfeited. Again, there you go. I'll show you what I mean. Especially this real person, vicious, at least, are going to call this 4k raise. As soon as they call the 2k, they don't like folding to a 6k. And on Hunter, I've just got Jack Ace, so I'll switch depending on. Yeah, I've missed here, so I'm just going to go over to Hunter. There you go, I've got Jack Ace, and I've raised here in middle position. Yeah, I've and the other one vicious and really just going into the pot for about 25k. Okay, here I've got 10% odds, plus there's a flush draw. It's into a 70k pot, put 10k in. It won't be far off. So I've got 10k into 70k is not my 10% odds that I want. Plus you've got to account for the flush draw, so there you can see pretty much I'm way out of my odds. There, Green Jack takes it. Here I raised up on ace 10. Now this is a very, very vulnerable top pair. Very draw heavy flop. Lots of turn cards can devalue my hand. So I'm going to push hard on there. Because obviously I don't want people seeing the turn cards. It'd be a lot different if I flopped the ace, but there was just too much that could draw out on me. So I decided I wanted to push hard and not let someone hit on the turn against me or something like that. Okay, here I wake up with aces. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I don't think anyone's going to re-raise around here, so I'm going to play it strong. I want to get a lot of money in pre-flop with these loose players. Oh, that is on my list of bad flops. I don't like this board. I've got a bet and a call. Yeah, I think that's time to lay down aces. I've got a bet and a call on a board with two spades, straight chances, a jacks. Yeah, they had one of each. Both of them had the jack, so that's a good thing. I only lost 20k on that hand. It could have been a lot worse if that flop was more disguised. Okay, here I'm out of position. I've got jacks, so again I'm going to press strong. Now I can remember this real person is a very loose caller. I think Nanny, I honestly have no clue about her. Half the time she seems really tight, half the time she seems loose like a maniac. So she's just one of those really strange players that does two sort of extremes. Now the question here is, there are two overcards, but I also know she calls on anything. So there you go. Because she had normally against a person that scored pre-flop, you expect them to have hit that. But she had such a wide range that I wasn't prepared to just let it go. Here I've got Queen King on this ocean. I'm going to raise it up. Again, I'm out of position, but from what I've noticed of this hunter table is they're very loose players. So I'm just going to see how this goes. And I've completely missed. So the question is, do I want to buy this flop based on what I know of these players? And my answer is no. 2k, you just can't afford 2k. I've got to see if I can hit a queen or a king. The question here is, okay, everyone's shown an absence of interest in this pot, but so, okay, the question here is, I've got top pair, but is anything weak gonna call? I'd rather see if Mr. Paulo bets and then call myself, but no, he doesn't go for it. Yeah, the reason I didn't actually bet out there was that I didn't think there was more that hands they could have that I would be at a disadvantage to than those I could extract value from. So I was just going to check and be prepared to call a decent bet, like half the pot, or maybe even an all-in. I never know, it would depend on my mood. But I definitely wasn't folding that cheaply. Okay, here I've got pocket tens, and this is definitely getting into the sort of pockets that you get screwed on. So I'm going to raise it, but you don't want to put too much confidence in a hand like pocket tens. Especially considering these people are calling on anything. And here, the odds of you getting an overcard hit the flop are pretty high. No, I think she's got it. Actually, to be honest, I just want to see what she's got because she's been pressing in a lot. She actually had it, but she'd been doing that a lot, so I didn't feel confident that she'd hit the flop because she'd kept all-inning and banking like she's just done it again. But oh well. It was quite cheap, so I wasn't bothered. It wasn't a good play, but again here I'm just going to raise on my fours and then hope to hit a set on the flop. If I don't hit a set, I'm just getting out of the hand. Oh! So I've just noticed that there was a really big pot on sage that I folded. I had 10 queen and I hit trip queens and someone had aces. She's bet me out, so I'm going to fold. Back over to sage, I've got ace jack. And here we go, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 callers. I think these three are sort of crap, but Dragil, he's a good player and fairly tight. Again, there's draws on this board, so I've got to bet out. Next of these, though, I've seen is pretty loose. Yeah, Dragil, like I said, he's a decent player. He'll do the sensible fold. I just want to do a weak bet, try and extract a bit of value. Now the question is, if she had a draw, she wasn't going to call, so I'm just trying to minimise losses. Oh, I had her kickered. So I could have extracted some extra value from there, but my logic was that if she had the ace, it was more likely that she had me beat. And if she had a draw, she wasn't going to pay me off. Here again, 9s are too weak to raise to 10k, and this is just a really bad flop for me, so I'm just going to shut it down. Yeah, that's just not worth bothering with. Okay, so over here again, we've got our old friend 10 queen. It seems to just be attracted to me today. It keeps coming and coming. This one's suited, so actually I'm going to raise it up to about 8k. See what progresses. Then these are two pretty loose players. That seem to be taking their time to decide, and I'll just take down the blinds, and that's the end of that hand. See, this is the sort of sexy draw, because if I hit a jack, then this is going to pay off big time if someone else hits 8 as well. Because it would give them the 10 high, but it would give me it would give them, sorry, the jack high, but it would give me the queen high. Oh, and there it comes. So this is just what I was waiting for. So now I feel I'm either going to get paid off with his full stack, or he's not going to give me anything at all, so I may as well head out and bet. And I'm right, he gives me his full stack, and unless he's just had queen ace, I've just got the nuts here. I'm assuming he's got an 8. Yep, and there you go. And that is just a brilliant setup spot, and one that you've really got to be aware of if you're in his position. I'd also like to know, I think I've just about made up for that really bad beat against the quads on my pockets. So I think I'm 100k up on Tour of the Oceans, and I'm about 250k down on the Videomon. So I'm just about back up to even now. Yeah, here I've got King Queen offsuit. Again, I'm on a loose table. She's doing this a lot, But what would she do it on? If she's got any sort of ace, she's got me beaten. So, I think that pretty much just confirms what I want to do. I think I was probably leaning towards folding anyway. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, for real, Queen A suited. She's taking it on in his mid pocket pair. So again, the same as I've said with the Maniac table, is you want to treat these Maniac players with respect, and that's especially the case with For Real and Vicious here. They might be all inning on crap, but it doesn't mean they can't still pick up hands. And that's just what you've got to remember when you're playing against them. Hey, here again, Ace Jack. That's in my pre-flop hand range, so I'm going to raise it up. And I've just got one caller. I've hit my ace. Now the question here is, do I want to bet or do I want to drag him in? He could have a gut shot, but no, I think I want to bet. Oh, what, two pair now? I definitely want to put my money in. I'm just going to go all in just here. Hope you didn't have 10 green. Yeah, no idea why you would do that, but that's just the way people go on puzzle pirates a lot of the time. Okay, here I've just hit 8-4, and there's a lot of people that will probably be calling on gut shots here. So there's a lot of people that are chasing all sorts of various things. And none of the gut shots have hit, so I want to keep as many people in this as I possibly can. I will just want to do it cheaply. Dragil is, like I said, you've got to base it on the player, and he's a good player. He's not going to be doing this like an idiot, so I'm going to give him credit for it, because he's not a moron that'll push on anything that 8-2 has beat there. Oh, and here we go, I've got queens now. Oh, I'm out of position again, but on the other hand, I've just raised up on Hunter, I've just raised up to Queen King with Queen King and missed. And on Viridian, I've just folded 6-9 and hit straight on the flop. That was fun. Anyway, I just want to hope nobody has raised me, but so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to do quite a healthy raise here because there's lots of limpers. Like I said, if you've got a queens or something like that in this position, your pre-flop raise has to be proportional to the number of limpers. If there was hardly any limp... Oh, okay, here I've flopped an absolute monster. But I have all of this flop. Stiggy won't have any of it. So my only chance is to let her bet out. I think I'm gonna just let her bet. No, there's nothing I could do. She didn't have anything. If she hit a spade on the river or decided to bluff, that was the only way I was going to get any sort of money out of that hand. It's like flopping quads. It's a fun thing, but you're not going to get paid on it very often. So yeah, I decided to see if I can induce a bluff, but it didn't work. I probably could have gotten a small re-raise out of her on the turn, but I had no way of knowing that she'd picked up a flush draw. So in my opinion, I made the right decision. Oh, I've just folded a straight on the flop, but like I said, same attitude as before. You can't beat yourself up over it. I knew I made the right decision. I know I've made the right decision in folding a hand like 6-4 offsuit. And oh no, wait, hang on, I'm just being blind, haven't I? I've not flopped a straight. Sorry, I've just got an open ender. I thought I'd flop the straight there. But no, that would be 6-3 or something, wouldn't it? So yeah, but like I said, even if I was right and I'd flopped a straight, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Just know you've made the right decision and move on. And here I just limped on 7 ace. I've picked up a pair, so I'm just gonna put in some small bets, but it's only a mediocre top pair. It's nothing overly fancy. Like I said, I don't want a big pot on a hand like this, so I don't know why, but I get the feeling this bubbly person is loose, but no, I don't think it's worth it. So I'm just gonna let it go. Now I've got king 10, king 10 offsuit. I think it was a bad idea to raise, and she's just pushed me off, so I'm just gonna release that hand fairly easily. Just gonna keep that on and see what she actually had. Wonder if anyone will call her. Morella or Lone Ranger are probably pretty loose, I think. So yeah, we've got a caller. Queen Ace and nines. That's a shame. I actually had it, but I was completely dominated by both ends. Well, not dominated, but I probably had a slight underdog, but still, it's not worth calling. So I made the right choice. Like I said, you can't judge yourself on whether you would win or whether you should lose. It's not about that, it's about knowing you've made the right choice. Like here, you've seen the NEs all in aces versus tens. This is the exact same situation. You're going to get sucked out on sometimes. You've just got to sit back and tell yourself you made the right choice, but you just got unlucky. Here I've got ace jack and I'm going to attack this, but I'm very wary that I'm in a bad position. Yeah, and the NE's doing that on anything, so I'm going to call, and the Lone Ranger's being pretty loose. I've missed. Do I want to do this? I think I'm going to cut my losses and rebuy again. Oh, that's just sick. I had both of those hands covered, and he's just hit that on me. See, here I've got aces, but in this case, there aren't many limp. Oh shoot! I meant to raise. Oh well. I meant to raise that to 4K, but I spent my time moving the screen. I'm going to get really annoyed now because I think she had some high pockets and I had that hand, but oh well. That's just the way things happen sometimes. I missed the timer. What time is this? Oh, it's 10-second turns. No wonder it folded so fast. I'm just going to... Oops. Oh. I thought that was 10k. I didn't mean to call that. I'm not doing very well on this table, am I, with my call forward decisions? I'm going to see if I can buy this. It looks like she might have been scared of the flop. No, she was just check raising. I should have probably just taken the free card, but oh well. That was a bad two hands for me. And here I've got Jack King, but the difference is on this hand I'm in position. It's a loose table, so I'm willing to put in a 10k raise on this hand. Everyone's folding. I've not got position anymore if Scritch is the only one in the hand. So my position, I'm now out of position. If he hasn't got an ace, I should take this. Yeah, he didn't have an ace, so I take the pot. Okay, here we go, I've got king ace on hunter again. I'm on the button, so I'm going to raise it up. And this guy just likes to call me. Can't seem to help himself. I don't want to get caught in a trap again. I've missed, so I'm going to check it down. She checks again. I might try and steal it, but no, I don't want to try anything. I'm just going to give up fairly promptly on this hand. If they've both completely missed, I'm going to take it on my king ace anyway. Oh, that is rather sick. But probably should have tried to bluff the flop, but oh well. That's the way things go. Okay, again on Hunter, I got King Jack offsuit. Like I said, these guys are morons, so I'm going to raise it. I've got Jack 10 suited that I'm raising in position on Viridian as well. Here I've just got a gut shot, so I'm either going to take it here or she's going to fold. She's calling. I'm going to check it down. I don't think she's got anything strong, but I reckon she's called a gut shot like me. Oh, she did. That's just yeah. You can't win with some people that call on anything. Here we are. We're again with a person who calls anything. So I'm just gonna. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Probably should have let her have another chance to bluff at it. Oh, she was fairly determined to get out of that fast, so I don't know if I would have been successful. But oh well. Here we go. We're gonna see if our luck changes anymore on this hand. Got ace queen suited again. Standard raise 10k. Ooh. I'm just gonna cut. She's been doing lots on pockets, so I'm just gonna see if I can hit the flop. Okay, so I've hit the flop. So I think I've got it. If she doesn't bet, I'm just gonna check and let For Real do it for me. She's doing it, so I'm just gonna go all in. Hope she doesn't have ace king. And there we go, she'd all in on a flush draw and she'd had a weaker ace. And there we go, I've just won back most of my money that I'd lost on that first really bad hand. So yeah, I've gone from that hand from being about 200k down, and now I think I'm 100k up, 50k up, and I think I lost 300 here, so I'm about 70k up here. So I'm probably around 250k up overall now, so I'm doing pretty well. Well, not well for usual, but I'm not down anymore, so can't really complain about that. And here, I've got picked up a lot of mediocre hands. I've got 10 jack there. Here I've got queen 10. Now these are all in bad. Well, the first one is just a weak hand, and this one is in a weak position as well. And I'm just gonna bet weak here. Someone on a jack will call me. I don't think I've also got a gut shot if a jack hits. It depends on what he's calling, if he's got a made hand or if he's actually got something. I don't think he'd bet if he was drawing. No, I'm going to get out of the way. He hasn't been betting much. On Viridian, I had Jack King, and again, Yene keeps pushing all in. And yeah. Yeah, she pushed all in on 10 King versus pocket 8s, and the 10 King hit a full house. And surprise, surprise, the other person that was in the all in was For Real. Again, here you see me limping Jack 10. It's probably a hand that Puzzle Pirate players might overrate, but it's a really weak hand and easily dominated, and especially when I'm in a bad position in the blinds here. If you don't understand what I mean by staying out of position, you should really just go on the internet and look at some basic poker guides, and I'll explain all about position. We'll try and explain. You'll notice why in a lot of games I play a lot different, like when I have the button, than if I'm next to the button like this. This is just the worst position you can be in. You just can't gather any information about their plays or anything like that. On this one I just get lucky and nobody else has hit anything, so I just take down that pot rather cheaply on my Jack 10. Oh yeah, I've got Jack. See, this is a much better position. I've got fairly strong pocket pair, and more importantly I've got the button as well. Well, not more importantly, I'd rather have the jacks than the button, but okay, now she is a really loose player. She's been doing this constantly, so I'm just going to push her all in pre-flop. I want to get all my money in right here. It's a classic race situation. It was about 55-45 in my favour, and it just didn't go my way. Can't really complain about losing a coin flip, even if I did have a slightly better hand. I'd just like to point out that that is the big difference between jacks, queens, kings. That if I had queens and kings, there's a lot more likely that I have them dominated than on that hand. And here, I limped on 10 king. I've got an open-ended draw, and I'm just gonna draw to it. And it doesn't hit, so I'm just gonna throw away the hand, because he's probably gonna bet, because he betted the flop. I don't think, the only thing I could do is either fold or all in. And all in, I don't think I have the proper, there's definitely not got the proper odds for him folding to try that move. Here again, I've just limped in on a fairly weak hand. And I'm going to bet it out because there's a lot of weaker hands that could call on this board. Anyone with a gut shot straight is going to get some funny ideas in their head. And of course I've got a gut shot straight myself, so that's just turned into an open-ended straight because I can hit a 2 or a 7 for that, or I've got top pair already. I'm just going to check on the end. I bet she's probably got a 2 or a 4. Yeah, no idea why she'd call that. She's just a stupid player. But like I said, I call her a stupid player, but I still think about her plays logically. I don't just say, oh my god, I have a pair, fold already, you idiot. You calm down, you think about their plays logically. Like here in the NE, I could easily say, oh my god, this is a stupid idiot, but she can still quite easily have pocket aces or pocket kings when she does this. And that is the advantage to a loose play. See, on this turn she's just got king 9, she's got, oh I thought she got, she's just gotten very lucky on this hand. But just because she's doing hands like that doesn't mean she can't have good hands as well. Here I've got a queen ace and I'm in a good position. And I'm just raising up. I've got quite a lot of callers, so I'm going to definitely need a hit to carry on in this hand. I don't get my hit, so... But the question is anyone else get a hit either? But actually, I don't like it because TX has such a small stack. I don't like bluffing with small stacks around. Oh, there you go, I've missed, so I'm going to get out of the way. Let's see what he calls on. 3-5 and 7-9, that's just amazing. I mean, I've rivered the ace, but any pair had me beat, so it was still a good... Like I said, you can't judge the quality of a play by the result, and folding a no pair there was a pretty solid decision. I'll probably about, 25% odds to improve by the river, and all in for that, it just wasn't worth it. Well, probably was in that instance, but I had no idea, with no knowledge to know that my ace and my queen were live outs. One thing they could have had is, say, 8 ace, 7 ace, and decided to push all in which case my ace wasn't drawing live, I was only relying on my queen. Or it could be even worse, and they could have even had a straight or something. Here, I've got jacks, I've got the button. I'm going to just attack this pot because it's a very vulnerable pocket pair. Oh, 4 people, this is just not good. Okay, this is good, I've just hit a jack, but more importantly, there is a king on the board, which is probably why your dama is betting, but there's also a straight on the board, so I'm just going to push all in. So I think your dama has a king here. She's going to pay me. Oh, that is just nasty. Yeah, I thought she had a king, but aces is pretty much the same thing for me. Quite lucky, I would have been in a very bad spot there if it was a low flop. But like I said, there was already a lot of people in the hand, so I was already feeling uncomfortable about it unless I actually hit that on the flop. But like I said, there you go, there's another 350k up. Flush draws, I'm going to call this. Just work out while I'm up at like 350, 350 and 90. And I'm 300 down, so I don't know what that is. Okay, so the decision here is, do I want to re-raise and risk her having a full house? Not really, I'm just going to make a disciplined call because she might have a full house. And again, I've just cracked pocket aces. I'm on quite a good luck streak against that hand, it seems. But it's her fault for not raising it out pre-flop, so... But like I said, on that hand, she quite easily could have had a full house. So I think the hand range that they would call a re-raise on wasn't all that favourable because I didn't want to call an all-in or anything on a flush on a paired board. That is one thing you always have to remember, is on a paired board a flush is not a huge hand. The full house is the huge hand. And you've always got to be wary of that full house and analyse whether it's worth it to go for or not. Yeah, Keyhorton. He's just backed into a 2-pair. Like I said, you just can't beat yourself up over hands like that. You just got to accept it. People get lucky and suck out on you. But on the other way, you can do the exact same to other people, like I did to Udema. I sucked out on her. The person on Viridian sucked out on me with her 3-7 offsuit. It just all goes around in a cycle, and eventually, after playing, you'll suck out on other people as often as they suck out on you. The one thing you don't want to do is just concentrate on the ones where you get sucked out on. So what I could do here is I could say, oh my god, people are sucking out on me next, left and right, non-stop. My god, that person hit quads on really on a garbage and I'm going to go nuts. Or my god, this person just hit 3 outs on me. What? Because the thing I won't be thinking of are the 3 or 4 hands where I've sucked out on other people. And you've just got to keep perspective, sort of thing on that. You will suck out on other people just as often as they suck out on you. And if people are making bad calls, like Gil Horton did on there, you've just got to sit back, smile at them and say, if you keep doing that constantly and constantly, I'm going to have your entire stack in the end. And that is the way you have to think about suckouts like that. This is my calculations. Assuming I've lost 300k on Viridian, I'm about 450k up at the moment. I'm not quite sure how long I've been playing. I think that's 450k in, I think that's about an hour and a half or so. So I'm well around the income that I quote as about 300k an hour. And I think it's pretty much averaging out to that. Remember, I'm just showing you the good hands, but I am playing 3 oceans at once, so obviously I'm going to pick up good hands a lot. Okay, I've got Jack Ace, and the question is, Udoma knows what she's doing, Callisti is fairly tight and knows what she's doing, so I'm just going to give it to them and see what happens. Because I don't think I'm ahead of the hand range that these guys are playing. I'm probably even with it, but there you go, I've lost anyway.